One long form video, 3 shorts across 4 platforms is what I have to post every week all by myself. And rather than continuing to post these by hand every week or paying somebody else to post them for me, I'm going to build a bot to be able to help automate this process. Hey guys, it's Kerry, and this week we're going to be doing things a little bit different. So I'm going to be walking you through something that I'm actively working on and haven't even had the chance to really see working in action versus what I normally do, which is to show you the results of what I have going on and show you things that I actually have some results on. So what we're going to talk about this week is that bot, and it's going to be able to help me automate posting my content after I have the content filmed and edited along with the captions. This bot will take care of the rest of posting things on time for me when I see fit. To start, we'll go ahead and get into the why I'm doing this. And the reason that is because if I just do the simple math, I post one long form video that you're watching right now every single week. And then I've also post 3 shorts every single week across 4 platforms. Adding it all together, that's 13 posts. And just assuming that each one takes me a modest 15 to 20 minutes each to come up with the caption, copy the caption over, and then upload the video, that is going to add up to about 3 to 4 hours a week that I'm just spending on uploading content when I've already edited the file, I've already finished the captions and different things like that. And it's one of the things where I'm like, there's something that has to be able to be done better. And looking at it, right, people may think the obvious thing to do here is to hire a content manager, because as I said before, if it's something you don't have time for or don't have the desire to do, you should be able to hire out for it. And that's what most people will be able to do. But I realize I have a skill that I can use, and it also kind of goes against the policy that I'll have right now. Like, I'm already breaking the policy of funding business income from business expenses. And right now I'm already paying an editor, and adding on to this when I don't have money coming in from this particular source of income can impact other sources of business income. So I can take my skill and be able to automate this part of the process that I think is much simpler and doesn't necessarily affect my quality of service. And that's kind of where I'm taking this alternative where I can trade my time to be able to get my time back by putting in time to actually write some software to automate this process for me. And that's kind of the thing that really crossed my mind on the why I'm doing this and what motivated me to continue down this path to automate. Before I go and dive off into some of the high level technical details of what I'm doing to accomplish this, I want to actually just make it very clear on what I see as the payoff for getting something like this done. And the first thing I want to talk about is the hours, right? I already said that it's going to be 3 to 4 hours a week that I'm spending on this, and that can be reduced down to maybe a few clicks here and there, as we'll discuss a little bit later on. But ideally, it's all up front, putting everything together, uploading it, scheduling it, and we're good to go. So let's say that that's at a rate of $75 an hour that I'm getting from another client. That's $225 to $300 a week, depending on if it's 3 or 4 hours. And I'm not throwing that type of time that I could be doing skilled labor to get that type of money into just trying to transfer content from one place to another. And, I could put those hours into somewhere else, and that's the opportunity cost right there. That's around $1,000 a month that I would be able to get back right then and there just from putting in some upfront time to automate this process. The other thing is the mental load. People oftentimes forget, and even I oftentimes forget, how much of a relief it is to be able to automate processes like this, so you don't have to keep up with things like, oh, I got to get up at XYZ time to go ahead and get this post to be published at a certain time. And it's one of the things where it's less things I have to do in my daily routine, and it just makes life a lot easier along with getting my time back. And then the other thing is, if I do get busy and I'm not able to dedicate this extra time to get things posted, now I don't have to make time. I can have higher priority things come into my life and take that time and have this channel not be affected on the content I posted. Because, for example, there's one video that I did not post on time. I usually post every Thursday, and I posted to all my social medias, but did not post the long form content on YouTube on time. I don't remember exactly what episode it was, but I think I posted it a day or two later. So mistakes like this wouldn't happen because I have this whole system automated. I also want to make sure that you're able to understand the end goal and how I want this process and flow to go. So the way I want this and envision this going is all I have to do is give this bot three things: the video file to post, the captions that go across the 4 platforms to post, along with the time on when to post these things on these different platforms. And then what I get back from the platform is that not the platform, but the bot, is that it posts it across the different platforms and it puts the captions and the hashtags and the formats that I want. And if anything fails, it sends me a notification to my phone letting me know that something failed. So what it will handle without me as well is making sure that authentication between the bot and the other platforms itself is refreshed without me needing to go in there and do it manually. And then converting the video to the platform, not the platform, but converting the video to the format that the platforms expect, so that I don't have to worry about doing any of these conversions for the video files either. And that's kind of like the dream, is just to be, my job is just to give it the video, the captions, and the time, and everything else is handled from there. Now I can go ahead and get into the overview of the architecture of how this project would work. And it's just a Docker container, and think of a Docker container as a virtual machine, or just any type of machine that you would have that can run, you write the software once and it can run on any particular machine that you want it to run on in its own space on that computer. And I have this Docker container running on my NAS that you have seen in my previous episodes. I don't remember the episode right now at the top of my head, but it is basically the black box that you've seen before, where I store all of the footage that I have and all of my other backups, like for my computer and different things like that. And then I have the container constantly running. And the two things it's going to do is, first, it's going to be able to post the videos to the platform when it's requested, obviously on this time schedule that I requested. And then the other thing is it's going to be available to be able to be reached to by Claude, which is the AI software that I'm using. And Claude itself is going to talk through it through an MCP, which is Model Context Protocol. Don't really need to know how that works under the hood, but just essentially think about it as a USB-C plug that we can have. See if I got one here, just for kicks. But just think of it as a USB-C plug where I'm able to plug Claude into the bot that I built, so that it can communicate and send commands to the bot. Now, there are existing solutions out there where you could pay around $50 to $100 to use things like Buffer or Hootsuite to be able to hook in and have something that can post to these platforms for you automatically. But this wasn't necessarily something I wanted to do, because that's going to be a subscription cost. And right now, I'd rather just spend my time rather than my money to get this going forward. On top of that, those tools don't necessarily integrate with Claude the way I wanted to using the MCP. As far as where this project actually stands today, it is nowhere near complete. I have the dev account set up across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and X. And honestly, I set up the code on what I want to do, but I haven't got to run anything or test it or even put it on my NAS in a Docker container or anything like that. But the idea that I have so far is that I'll be able to use Claude to hit the service, and the service will be able to post, like I said before. And I'll go ahead and really just get into the obstacles, and I'm getting myself distracted right now for no reason. The first obstacle that I've actually seen was very interesting. So the obstacle was that Facebook is required to be able to, Facebook is required to be able to have API access to Instagram. And a couple years ago, my Facebook account got hacked, and I didn't really care because I was like, I don't post on Facebook. I think Instagram's good enough. And now that I need developer access to Instagram, they force you to get a Facebook account. And at first, I tried to go ahead and create a fresh account that's tied to my business, and it was going well. I got the developer account there and everything. And then they said, we need you to put your phone number so that you can recover your account. I put my phone number, that's the same phone number on my band account. And lo and behold, they disabled that account right away. And after some research, I just looked around and found out that Facebook has a URL that you can go to if your account gets hacked for you to get it back. And after a few tries there, because I think sometimes it wants you to go to the same browser that they've seen before, I was able to somehow get it to work. I don't really remember if I had to just go back to my same browser profile, but I was able to get in magically. So now I created a page on Facebook, and now I'm able to get a developer account, and then I have to relink my developer account and my Instagram account to the old Facebook and remove the one I created for my business, so that everything, because you can only be linked to one Facebook account at a time. So there was something I could do to fix things going forward. And it was a very interesting thing. I was like, of course, now I got to get the Facebook account back. I don't have a choice. The second thing that happened was I was trying to get access so that on my NAS, my network attached storage, and the operating system, it runs the Synology, so that I don't have to build all of the apps like the cloud storage or the Synology drive, basically the same thing as Google Drive. I don't have to build all that. They maintain it for me. And the issue was there is no way to have programmatic or API access to Synology so that I can have it send me notifications. So I ended up seeing what we could do, and Claude was like, we can use this open source thing called NTFY, which I think is just short for notify. And that was a change that we had to make. But those are the two things I've seen so far, and I haven't really had a lot of time to like run anything. So the first thing that I think is going to come up next when I actually get back into this project is that I'm gonna have permissions issues, because when you have access through their APIs and you connect that way, you have certain permissions that you have to give yourself. And I'm pretty sure that I got some permission wrong somewhere. But I don't want to bore you too much with the technical details. These are just where I'm at in the project, so that those who are technical can kind of follow along at a high level. As far as like why I'm not coming back to it right now is I'm still in the situation of where I can't afford to pay my editor for my business account right now because of what happened with the real estate turnover that I'm still catching up on monetary wise from 2 months ago. And with that being the case, I also need to be able to bring in more business income. So the way to do that is to get another check from my freelance client. And I need 20 more hours to be able to request another refill of the retainer that I have for my freelance client. So that's the main priority right now. And it's something where once I get this done, and I think it's worth coming back to this project to start saving me more time so I can free up that time to be doing something else to either bring me money or to be able to give me that, just to get the time back and be able to relax as well. Now that you know the high level architecture and kind of like what problems I face going forward, let me go ahead and give you some of the specific quirks that are on each platform. For example, YouTube takes a file, title, and a description along with the tags, and then it automatically determines whether it's a short form video or short video versus a long form content video by the aspect ratio. So if it looks like the 9:16 that you would see on Instagram, TikTok, and different places, it automatically puts it as a short. But if it's the landscape content or the landscape ratio, I don't actually know the ratio for that one off the top of my head, then it'll put it in the long form content. But the catch with YouTube is that I need to submit an application review in order for them to approve me to actually have the videos that I post on their platform be shown to the public. So they'll be shown as private videos until that is approved. I think with YouTube, it should be a pretty straightforward process to say I don't really plan on having the application that I created, basically the bot, be available for public use. So I should be able to hopefully bypass that review. But with TikTok, it's the same thing, except they want like a actual formal review of the application to see that it works and that it's a certain quality. So this one might be a little bit trickier to get around. And if I can't get around it easily with that, then I will have to take up the trade-off with TikTok to where my videos are posted automatically, but they're posted as private, and I'll have to come back and then enable them to be public. But for X and Instagram, those two are much easier. I don't have to have any audit wall for the API to be approved to post directly in front of viewers and not have it be private posts. The only thing with Instagram is they expect a specific format. So if I don't provide a specific format on uploading the video, then it'll silently fail on the response. So I need to make sure that in the bot that it still sends me a notification when that happens. Other than that, the main trade-off here is just that it's not fully automated for YouTube and TikTok. I need to go ahead and remember to get up and push the button to say, let's make this a public post on both platforms. But to me, that's still a lot better than having to get up in the morning, paste them, or have to go out my way to go and make drafts ahead of time. That way I can save my time. Rather, I still have a bot that's able to write and publish everything. Now I just have to click one button to make it public to everybody. Now the other half of it is to be able to schedule content. So what I want to be able to do, and not what I want to be able to do, but what I will be able to do is whenever I finish the content and get it all cut and then have the captions, because I already showed y'all how I run my YouTube channel video, how I already have my captions for my shorts already built out. So now I can have Claude send it off to the bot and schedule the content and tell it the time to post. So now the bot can post it to these platforms automatically during that time, rather than having to sit in the draft and trying to figure out how to get the draft to flip over, or doing this, trying to figure out how to schedule the content on the respective platforms. I can just always have it post whenever it sends it out to the platforms, but have the bot be responsible for running at a certain time to get the videos to post at the time I want. So that's kind of what the other half of this is for, and it makes it a lot easier because now I don't have to necessarily be with Claude as it sends the videos off to be posted, and I know that I don't have to tell Claude itself to do it at that time. It just can request the bot to upload the video at that certain time so that it can be shown to you guys at the appropriate time. One last thing I forgot to add to that as well is if any of these things fail, if the content posting fails in either scenario, we're really on the scheduling because everything's going to be scheduled. So if the content uploading fails for whatever reason, I also set up the NTFY or the Notify app to be able to allow the bot to send me off notifications if anything fails, so that I can know immediately and then be able to either upload it myself or have the bot retry. The bot itself is going to also have retries to be able to try to upload the video to the platforms, because things can fail for whatever reason, like any reason, honestly. So it's always good to have retries in there, but if all of that fails, I do want to be notified. So that's something I'm also building as well. Now, to reflect on the risk, as I've talked about some risks that I've taken currently in my episode about how financial risk has shaped my thinking. One of the risks that is going to be here is that I'm the one that wrote this code to publish the videos. And the same way that I wrote the code to publish it is the same way that the services that I'm calling to publish the videos can change their API, which if they do that, then it's going to break things on the bot because it won't know how to communicate with the platforms to be able to upload the video. So I have to maintain, meaning that if they have rolling updates, I have to make sure to go in there and to be able to update the code to keep up with their APIs. The other thing is that the video could just fail for whatever reason, and I need to ensure, and it's the reason I'm building out the notification service to send notifications to my phone if any uploading fails. But it's one of the things I need to be prepared for, is that I need to be able to receive the notifications, ensure that I respond to the notifications to make sure that the content is still released on time. And the other thing is just making sure that when that stuff does fail, figuring out how to fix it, or figuring out how to easily upload it myself, which I should be able to do by just doing the old school way I do it today. And it's one thing to just make sure that it's maintained, but it's another thing that it's like all on me. So if something breaks, I have to go in and fix it, which is fine because this is the risk I've decided to take, but it is something that I want to acknowledge. Now, as far as like how I'm mitigating it today, like I said earlier, I could always just publish this myself the way I'm doing it now. And then I can, whenever I fix that or publish the video, that buys me time to go ahead and be able to fix whatever broke. So to wrap things up, the first thing I want to go ahead and do is to unlock my freelance income again. So I'll be focusing on the 20 hours I have remaining as of recording this video to get that next freelancer check. Then once that is done, I can start diverting focus to other things. In the meantime, I will be manually uploading my videos as I do today. But once that is done, I will be able to shift my priority and focus over to this project to be able to help automate the process of uploading videos. And like I said earlier, the first thing I think I'm going to run into is just a whole bunch of permissions issues on being able to upload the video. But once that is worked through and I'm able to also ensure that I can get a notification in case anything fails, then I will go ahead and switch over to using the bot and ensuring that, or just having the process of being able to free up that time to now use the bot and go through. One more goal that I have that's a stretch goal, because it depends on how much time it takes, is to be able to get the YouTube and the TikTok app for the bot to be able to be fully audited and approved, so that I don't have to deal with that step of having to get on at a certain time to make the video public for both of those platforms. So that'll be something I'll do as a stretch goal, but to me, it's honestly enough to just have it be one click for like 2 or 3 platforms, or those 2 platforms. But it's technically 3 places, because there's a YouTube video, the YouTube short, along with Instagram. Not Instagram, but with TikTok. So to me, this still shaves out hours out of my day. Out of the 3 or 4 hours, it goes down to 2 or 3 minutes. So I'll have to see. I might do it as a stretch goal if it's easy. It sounds like YouTube is, but I'm not sure about TikTok. So it really depends on the level of effort, because it's kind of hard to justify that when it's only going to take me 2 to 3 minutes, but it might be worth the relief of not having to get up at specific times every day as well, if I can get those fully audited and finished. As usual, thank you guys for watching though. This will just about do it for me this week. And I'm curious for you guys, is there any process that you want to automate? I think something as this is a little bit more complicated, but like I've shown in other videos, there's ways you can leverage AI to automate things such as like reading emails, sending Slack notifications, or whatever the case may be, without needing to be a coder. So I'm just curious, what are some things that you guys have automated that I can hear about, and some things that I haven't even thought about doing? But yeah, as usual, I'll see y'all next week. Thanks for watching Nickens Financial Journey YouTube channel. Peace.